All right, we've got a game here at 6:30 p.m. at the RP Lumber Center in Edwardsville, Illinois. A matchup between the 12U-B2 Falcons and the 12U-B2 Twin Bridge Lightning, folks. This is a regular season matchup. Falcons are first in the standings so far at 4-0-0, forcing 22 goals and allowing 7. The Lightning are fourth in the standings, winning 1 game and tying another, forcing 3 goals and allowing 2. The first win coming over the Kirkwood Stars, coached by Ray Guerriero, and the other one a tie, a 2-2 tie versus the Merrimack Sharks. To kick us off here at the opening draw is forward Gorham at center, Maxwell Harrison at left, Zander Bryant at right, Brunetsky and Beck back on defense. Number 10 for the Lightning will be Ray Kolner. That's a face-off won by Gorham, kick back to Brunetsky, poke back toward Jack Beck. Jack Beck, who spins around, facing some pressure from 2 Lightning players as they come in on the forecheck. Loose puck now in front of Armstrong. Armstrong making an initial stop and kicked away by Jack Beck down in the doorstep. So Lightning putting on pressure early, clearing another one just ahead in front of Armstrong. Now to 41 trying to clear a shot off. That was number 41, Nolan Bennett. Now in the hands of Miller. Gorham trying to clear it out. Harrison as well. Underhill keeps it in for the Lightning, picked up by Jack Beck. Jack Beck off the boards, kept in by Underhill, picked up by Gorham. Gorham and Bryant on the attack. Gorham up ahead. He'll look for a shot, backhand shot, but just wide. Picked up by Bryant, pass back to Gorham. Gorham trying to get something going. That was Masterson who came in on a line change. Pass over to Miller. Miller looking for a shot. Center over, picked up by Bryant. Denny now on a line change. He comes in. He clears it out to the neutral zone. This pick is going to get picked up by Benton. Benton with a shot and glove save by number 78, Jack Rio Sievert. .10:37 on the clock here in the first period. Falcons looking for another shot on goal. Picked up by Walkenhorst at the point. He sends it back down. It's Wilson who will get there first for the Lightning. LaGrand was pursuing that puck. Now in the hands of the Lightning again. Denny sends it back across the blue line, not called offsides. Now in the hands of Masterson, pass toward Walkenhorst. That'll go off the boards, and Lightning again with possession. Pass over to McGinnis, picked up by Walkenhorst. Walkenhorst ahead to LaGrand. LaGrand just misses that. Now back to Denny. Denny off the boards toward LaGrand. Will get picked up by Underhill. No, that's an icing call. We'll see each other down in the Falcon zone. Armstrong will see another shot or 2. And we have Mickley, Lurk, Masters, Newport, and let's see, Brunetsky all on the ice. It's Newport, passes to himself off the boards. Newport up ahead. He enters at the point. Lost to number 24 Underhill. Or that correction, that was Henry Beck. Newport squeezes it around the corner, now in the hands of Mickley. Actually, that's Masters. Masters back to Mickley. Mickley, some pressure on the boards again, and then kept in by Lurk. Lurk pass over to Newport. Newport looks for a shot. Now the Lightning on the attack. Kicked over by Lurk. Leads to an offsides call. It stops the clock at 9:12 here in the first period. trying to send it out. Lightning putting on a lot of pressure. That was a nice pass. Gorham over to Bryant. Bryant on the attack. Bryant looking to squeeze a shot off. Deflected by number 16 Wilson, and a good effort by the Lightning. Picked up by Walkenhorst. Sent back down to the doorstep of Rio Sievert. Now cleared back toward Beck. Beck sending it ahead. Nice tape-to-tape pass to Harrison. Harrison loses it though. He'll kick it in ahead of the red line and go in for a line change. 8:14 on the clock here in the first. It's Lurk, LaGrand, Gorham, Denny, and Masters all on the ice for the Falcons. Picked up by Wilson down in the corner for the Lightning. Wilson off the boards over toward another Lightning player, but just missed Lurk looking for a pass. That's going to get lost. Womack sends it down low. Picked up by Miller. Miller squeezes it, but off the body of Denny. Denny ahead to LaGrand. LaGrand now to Masterson. Masterson lost as the Lightning were back checking. Now in the hands of number 44. Couple black sweaters on number 44. Picked up by Lurk. Lurk off the boards. Underhill with a long shot off the skate. Lost down low. It's going to get sent wide just past the right post. Miller fighting for it again. Denny trying to poke that off the boards. Loose towards Benton. Benton lost it in his feet. Benton now with the possession again. Over to Miller. Miller goes down. Masterson looking to gain possession. Miller, who was down on his feet, couldn't grab it. Finally cleared back down, but still in the Falcon zone. Falcons trying to clear. This is going to go off the post, or off the boards into the net. Denny trying to clear it overhead. Now Benton. Clear it, sent back toward Benton. Then back toward Denny. Lurk now on the opposite side of the net. Sends it ahead on the perimeter. Underhill with a shot. Denny now toward LaGrand. LaGrand trying to exit. LaGrand with a pass ahead to Masterson. Masterson lost it though. Nice pass by LaGrand. And Falcons resetting. Benton in. Masterson. Pernitsky. Masters. Who poked it. Masters now looking for a little bit of an attack, but no Falcons players over there to gather this. Now it's 43. 43 McGinnis looking for a shot. That'll get cleared toward Armstrong, who deflects it back behind the net. Armstrong waiting. Now in the hands of the Falcons. That was Mickley up ahead to Masters. Nice passing by the Lightning so far. Mickley over to Masters again. Masters on the attack. He sends it low. 5:30 remains here in the first period. Beck keeps it in at the point. Lightning doing a good job pressuring. That's a shot off the body of Sievert. Nice save. And Harrison back in on a line change. Harrison kicks it ahead. Harrison, Mickley, Newport, Beck, and Pernitsky on the ice right now. Picked up by Beck just ahead of the blue line. Sent down into the Falcons' defensive zone. Picked up by Pernitsky. Loose puck now to the opposite corner. Chasing after was number 43, McGinnis. Finally cleared by the Falcons. So the Lightning doing a good job of getting this puck down low and spending an equal amount of time in their own attacking zone. You could argue they've spent more time in their attacking zone than the Falcons. Cleared back the opposite way. Now it's Zander Bryant with possession. He'll clear it up ahead. Up to Harrison. Harrison loses it. Now Hejna, number 44. Pressure from behind by Harrison. Falcons trying to clear. Picked up by Gorham. Gorham off the boards. Not kept in at the point by the Lightning defense. Zander chasing after. Both teams putting in a ton of effort into this one. Gorham now back on the attack. Gorham looking for a centering pass, but no Falcon there to accept. Harrison over. He'll look for a wraparound. Puck down in front of the net. Denny with a shot. Deflected. Back behind the net, it's Harrison. Harrison patiently waiting, trying to find a spot to open up. Pressure by 2 jerseys and pushed down is Harrison by number 41. Gorham getting tied up with number 47, it appears. Actually, that was number 19, Liam Womack. 3:38 on the clock now. So that was a long period between whistles as both teams will send out a fresh line. Masterson at left, Benton at center, LaGrand at right wing, Lurk and Beck back on defense. Number 10, Ray Colner will take center for the Lightning. And this is a power play for the Falcons. Actually, this is an incidental or coincidental as Gorham and number 79, Parker Connolly, got into a little bit of trouble down in front of the net. And so we've got 2 players in the box now. That one coming. Will Benton looking for a shot. That's going to be a glove save. Nice glove save by Rio Siebert. The Lightning trying to get an attack going. Loose puck down in front, but poked away by Benton in a good effort. Colner now trying to send it over. Pass off the boards by Masterson up toward Benton. Benton chasing after, but it's Underhill who will get there first. Underhill pass to a Lightning player, but deflected into the bench. I believe that was number 46 who deflected that pass. That was Jamison Inbeden. Both teams will now face off down low in the Falcons' offensive zone. Mickley at center. Masters and Newport on right and left wing respectively. Denny and Krenitsky back on defense. McGinnis facing off against Mickley. Lightning now with an opportunity as the puck gets cleared down into the attacking zone for the Lightning. Picked up by Denny, sent down on the perimeter. 41 with a long sliding shot. Armstrong waiting over. Beck looking for possession. Mickley clears it around the other way. Masters and Mickley, or Krenitsky rather, fighting to clear this puck out. Both teams crowding the puck. Finally, Mickley sends it down the length of the ice. It will be untouched for an icing call. That stops the clock at 1:57. 1:57 remains here in the first period. Falcons will find themselves back in their own defensive zone, trying to clear, and the Lightning putting on a bunch of pressure. 44 will face off against Gorham. Gorham, who's in on the on fresh legs as he just sat in the sin bin for a period of time. That was Gorham with a nice pass up ahead to Zander Bryant. Gorham trying to help the Lightning player up as I believe he was being a little cautious with it. Gorham trying to bring it up ahead, kept in by the Lightning. Now in the hands of Harrison. Harrison getting it over. Good stick by Womack for the Lightning. Pass up ahead to Zander Bryant at the point. Bryant looking for a shot. He's going to get forced to the outside. Bryant goes down. No tripping call. 44 now trying to clear it over. Pass to Walkenhorst by Harrison. Long sliding shot. Rebound left open. Picked up by Gorham. Shot. down low as the puck's still loose. And they're trying to send it in, but a nice effort by Rio Sievert with 59 seconds remaining in the first period. Falcons can't send one home. Lightning now in on a line change. Same for the Falcons. Benton will face off against number 44, Adam Hejna. Masterson at left. LaGrand at right. It's Lurk passing up ahead toward Benton, but missed connection. Beck also on defense. We've got an offsides called. That stops the clock at 49 seconds remaining here in the first period. Still same lineup as before for the Falcons. Masterson at left, LaGrand at right, picked up by Beck off the face-off, won by Benton, but a back-checking effort by the Lightning initially led to possession, but a little volley back and forth. Now in the hands of the Lightning as they look to squeeze out of their own zone. Nice pass ahead to Womack. Lurk trying to grab this and clear it over. Now in the hands of Masterson. Masterson carries it behind the net. Masterson looking to clear it out. Kept in by the Lightning. In the hands of Beck. Lurk attempting to send it out up ahead. Now it's LaGrand chasing after. LaGrand, the lone Falcon, past the red line, just off the head of Hejna. Now it's LaGrand and Lurk. LaGrand carries it up. LaGrand at the outside. Backhand pass over to Lurk. Lurk with a one-timer attempt. Couldn't connect as time was expiring. And Sievert adjusting over quite nicely. That'll end the first period. 12 minutes resets on the clock as we're now heading into the second. Both teams getting a word from their coaches on the bench. And I have to say, this is quite a different game than we've seen for the Falcons as they've opened up the season perfect 4-0-0. They have not seen this much pressure in their own defensive end, although the Lightning haven't really been able to get a ton of shots off. That's going to be the number one priority for them. And Armstrong doing a good job on the only shot seen so far. Sievert with a handful of shots from the Falcons has done a good job as well as both teams remain scoreless. That was number 10 facing off against Mickley. Masters and Newport out on the wing side. That's a centering pass up the head to Mickley. Now Denny trying to clear it out. Newport chasing in the hands of Underhill. Underhill pass to Connolly. Back to 17 for the Lightning, but they clear it from one red line to the other. That means the Falcons now will face off in their own attacking zone. Hey, you're going to have to help me. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Mickley facing off against number 10 again. Falcons looking for another shot. Can't get one off. Now in the hands of Kolner, center for the Lightning. Kolner pass over to number 46, Imbeden. Imbeden looking for a shot, poked away by Kronitsky. Kronitsky up ahead. That's off the boards, picked up by Underhill at the center. Armstrong deflecting with his right leg pad. Imbeden trying to get a pass over to Connolly. Or actually, that's Kolner, correction. Now Underhill with a slap shot. That's going to get deflected in traffic. Now with a shot opportunity. Cleared up ahead to Mickley. Actually, that was Masters. Armstrong now trying to smother this puck. He's going to have to recover. Pass to Underhill. Underhill with a long sliding shot. That's off the skate of Kronitsky. Imbeden, backhand pass up ahead off the helmet of Armstrong. Finally cleared as the Falcons get a little bit of a breather. Connolly, pass up ahead to Kolner. Mickley is trying to stop a shot. Shot just ahead of Armstrong. Underhill picked up by 72. Denny up ahead to Masters. Masters looking for a clear opportunity. Masters shot just right and up past the right top shelf. Loose puck just spinning down toward the red line. It's Jack Beck who grabs it. 10:03 on the clock here in the second period. Jack Beck trying to clear it out now in the hands of Bryant. Bryant may have an opportunity to squeeze off a shot, but a good effort by the Lightning to prevent anything from materializing. Harrison looking for a wraparound shot. Stop. Rebound still down low. Sievert with an amazing save, and Gorham trying to pick up the rebound. Both teams getting a little chippy down low as Sievert was on his belly trying to smother the puck. And you have to give a good effort to both teams so far as they've been fighting for every possession, every pass, and every shot. It's Gorham now in at center, Bryant at right wing, Harrison at left. Walkenhorst and Beck back on defense. Loose puck, that goes just wide right. Picked up by Harrison down low, centering pass toward Gorham. Picked up by Bryant though. Bryant swinging around. Bryant over to the perimeter. He sends that off the skate of one player. Now it's number 2 with possession, William Arnold. Beck, shot off of Panzolino. 17 with a shot. That's going to go just wide. Gloved by Armstrong, but he left a rebound opportunity. Armstrong waiting for... Armstrong stops the puck, somehow gets his glove on it as he went down. And what a save by Armstrong as they had a center pass. And a good opportunity for the Lightning. Both teams will now face off in the Falcons defensive zone on the spectator side. Lightning sending in number 43 McGinnis to face off against Benton. And that leaves McGinnis looking for a shot, but deflected by Denny. Denny clears it over to Benton. Benton trying to get it off his stick, but that's deflected up into the air. LaGrand over to support. 3 black jerseys on 2 white. This is Masterson trying to clear it out. Picked up by Bennett. McGinnis, shot. Armstrong trying to adjust over. Armstrong's going to have to recover. He's back up. 8:29 on the clock here in the second period. Falcons just trying to get it out of their own zone, and maybe they'll do it. It's finally now Benton with possession. Picked up by Lurk. Lurk ahead to LaGrand. Bennett trying to keep it. LaGrand carries it in. Now the Falcons will face off on the spectator side, just on the neutral zone side of the blue line. Mickley, Masters at right, Newport at left, Kernitsky and Beck back on defense. That's won by Mickley, over to Beck. Beck sends it down deep. Newport chasing after behind the net. It's Wilson who had it initially. Newport with a good job clearing it up ahead to Masters. Masters with a rebound opportunity. Deflected and kicked away. Newport over to Kernitsky. Kernitsky at the point, sending a long sliding shot, deflected off the skate of one of the Lightning players. Now Masters sends it over. Masters loses his stick momentarily. That won't be kept in by Kernitsky, but it's cleared in by Mickley, and that causes an offsides call here at 7:36 in the second period. Still a scoreless game. Now Mickley, Beck sending it ahead to Newport. Newport bumped into Masters. Kernitsky initially deflecting that, but now the Lightning on the attack. Masters clearing it out. It's going to go ahead the length of the ice for an icing call. And Falcons now find themselves back in their own defensive zone. 7:15 on the clock. It's forward Gorham facing off against number 44. That's Hejna. Now Maxwell Harrison, pass over to Bryant. Bryant back to Harrison. Harrison with a shot off the body of Sievert, who's done an amazing job. Harrison trying to collect the puck down low. Harrison fighting for possession. Cleared back down toward Denny. Denny with a long sliding shot. It's Zander Bryant trying to collect this one. He'll spin around. He sends it back down to the corner. Now Lightning trying to clear it out. Kept in by Walkenhorst initially, but sent out. Now it's Hejna and Denny. Hejna looking for a shot. Poked away by Denny. Frank Denny with a good effort. Loose puck down low. Armstrong will smother it and prevent a loose puck from getting picked up by anybody. .6:27 on the clock here in the second period. Kolner looking for a shot. Passed up toward LaGrand. Now in the hands of Benton. Losto. Underhill now clearing it up ahead. Kernitsky toward LaGrand. And offsides. .6:14 on the clock. It's number 10 Kolner facing off against Benton. Imbeden sends it deep. Lightning now on the forecheck. Beck with possession behind the net. He loses it to Kolner. Pass up ahead, but picked up by Benton. Now in the hands of Connolly at the point. Sliding pass. Loose. Armstrong stops. Now through the neutral zone. It'll go the length of the ice, and we'll have an icing call. Falcons find themselves again with a brief rest, but battling to clear the puck. And the line change will bring out new fresh legs for the Falcons. Masters at left. Masters at Newport out at wing. Mickley at center, who clears it up ahead. Bennett pass over to another player. That's Armstrong, who smothers that puck. And a good job by Armstrong to prevent anything from materializing as the Lightning squeezed off a quick shot. So it's Mickley, Walkenhorst, and Lurk back on defense. Cleared over by Mickley toward Walkenhorst. Lost momentarily. Walkenhorst chasing after. Bennett passing down low, but picked up by Walkenhorst again. Falcons still trying to clear. 3 jerseys over on the perimeter. It's Lurk who's going to grab this and carry it behind the net. Lurk pass up ahead. That's going to go all the way down the ice. Masters trying to chase after, but not enough real estate left. And the Falcons again find themselves facing off in their own zone. 5:12 on the clock. We're halfway through the game and still scoreless, but it's not by a lack of fighting for both teams. Number 43 headed out, this Ronan McGinnis, to face off against forward Gorham. Gorham up ahead to Kernitsky. Kernitsky back toward Gorham. Gorham now centering over toward Bryant. Bryant lost it. Connolly sent it to the neutral zone. Now it's 43 with an opportunity. Poked from behind was Armstrong with a save, as that was a nice shot in the high slot. Pass toward Bryant. It's Bryant and Harrison. Oh, but Harrison and Bryant couldn't connect and get a good pass going. Gorham stealing that. Nice back-checking effort. Now Gorham on the attack. 3-on-2. Gorham into the low slot. Shot just saved by Sievert, and Bryant and Harrison getting a little bit of grief from the Lightning team as they came down to support their goalie. That stops the clock at 4:24, and Gorham putting on a nice little clinic, dancing through traffic with a wrist shot toward the body of Sievert. off and a rebound left down in the blue paint, but smothered by Sievert. Now we'll face off on the Falcons offensive zone spectator side with number 43 against Benton, LaGrand at right wing, Masterson at left, Walkenhorst and Beck back on defense. This is number 43, Ronan McGinnis, cleared by Benton to LaGrand. Benton with possession. He'll look for a shot into the body of Sievert. Same line as before for the Falcons, but the Lightning will send a couple new people in. So Lightning a couple extra fresh legs. Still number 43, Ronan McGinnis, facing off against Benton. Benton over toward LaGrand, deflected to Beck. Beck deflected and in. It's deflected by the Lightning. Beck with a shot from the point puts the Falcons up on the board first, and the Lightning will have to answer. That comes at 4:10 in the second period. Beck now still on the ice, loses that pass. It's over to Hejna. Beck trying to clear it off the boards, off the body of Hejna. Now to LaGrand, picked up by Masterson, kept in by Underhill for the Lightning. Now Womack chasing after. Walkenhorst trying to clear this through. Walkenhorst will get that done as he gets it into the neutral zone. Cleared ahead of the red line, no icing called. Masterson fighting just on the body of Womack. LaGrand waiting. LaGrand now dances through traffic. Pass to Masterson. Masterson high slot, low slot, outside the shooting lane, deflected to the corner by the stick of Sievert. Nice shot by Masterson. Falcons trying to keep this in. Womack pressuring to get it out. Lost in traffic, but puck kicked ahead. LaGrand bodies one of the Lightning players. That was 44. Beck now. Beck off the boards. Picked up by Benton. Benton swinging wide. Benton looking for something. Benton lost in traffic. Lightning with possession. This is number 94 for the Lightning. He continues to carry it through. That's Underhill. We've got a penalty called, tripping by number 44. That was Adam Hejna, one of the centers. So the Falcons now, with 2:41 on the clock, have a minute and a half player advantage. Masters back to Kronitsky. Kronitsky trying to get something off. Now Newport looking for a shot as he was working for the rebound. Cleared up ahead to Lurk. Lurk in the high slot. Now to Mickley. Masters chasing down to the corner. Masters sends it down to Mickley. Mickley with possession. He'll face two white jerseys. Newport back to Mickley. Mickley looking for a pass. Over ahead. And a good job now in the hands of number 46. That'll get sent the length of the ice. And Falcons unable to get there. That was called clear. No icing. Now back to Newport. Falcons working to send it ahead. Mickley with possession. High slot, forced outside. Shot deflected. Dangerous as that was just to the outside of the net. Now Mickley passed down to Newport. Newport with a wrist shot attempt, but sticked away by number 40, or maybe that was number 60, correction. 64 finally cleared out by the Lightning, and a good effort. 9 seconds remains on the power play. Lightning doing a good job stopping this so far. The penalty kill is effective. Both teams back to full strength. Brunetsky pass to Harrison. Harrison retains possession. He'll enter now. Bryant over to collect the rebound. Puck just behind the net. Brunetsky over to Gorham. Gorham backhand shot. Harrison looking for something. Harrison was shifting for a wraparound shot. 42 seconds remains. Number 64, Panzolino. Armstrong trying to deflect back to the corner, but just in front. Connolly now. Or that's Kolner, correction. Bryant off the boards toward Gorham. It's going to be a 3-on-1. Maxwell Harrison. It's Lurk. Over to Lurk. Lurk couldn't grab it. Lurk down. Gorham pressuring down in the corner. Bryant chasing after. Loose puck down toward Armstrong. Armstrong will deflect down toward Denny. And that's time, as it was number 10, Kolner. I think he was looking for a sliding shot into the net and couldn't squeeze one off as he was still down on the ice. And Armstrong and Sievert giving each other the obligatory fist bump, and as they goalies usually do in between periods. Falcons getting a word from their coach. We'll see how this one plays out. Now the Lightning are 4th in the standings. They've won one game versus the Stars. That's coached by Ray Guerriero. That's the team that the Falcons just won the night before. Actually, correction, that was on Sunday night. Falcons are 4-0-0, first in the standings, forcing 22 goals, allowing 7. Parker's had one shutout so far this season. That came versus the Ice Hawks. Falcons went up 5-1 versus the Kings. 6-4 victory over St. Peter's, 5-0 victory versus the Ice Hawks, and 6-2 versus the Stars. We'll see if the Falcons can remain perfect. The Lightning are looking to pick up their second win of the season. They've only played 2 games so far. Kolner shifting over. Kolner with a shot. Armstrong with a left leg pad save as he barely squeezed that out. The good job by Armstrong to shift up, and Kolner, number 10, had a good opportunity. Walkenhorst trying to carry this up ahead. Both teams just doing a good job crashing on the puck. Loose puck now picked up by Masterson. Masterson will shift over. He's going to get a shot off. That's going to be a save by Sievert. And Sievert with a gut trap gets another stop. And Sievert's been nearly perfect. The only goal allowed in was off a deflection. Certainly no fault to Sievert. He's been impeccable in net. Kolner will face off against Mickley, so number 10 for the Lightning. Newport at left, Masters at right, Krnitsky and Beck back on defense. Falcons trying to collect this and keep it in their own zone, but it's Kolner who appears to attempt the exit. Can't clear it through to one of his own players, so that's going to give the Falcons a face-off in their own attacking zone yet again. And both teams now headed back to the Lightning defensive zone. 11-16 here in the third period. Mickley over to Masters. Masters trying to get a one-timer shot off of that. This number 2 for the Lightning, attempting to exit, but back-checking effort by Masters leads to a Falcons possession as they dump it in deep. Now the Falcons on the forecheck. Cleared, picked up by the Lightning, and they're now attempting to regain possession. Masters up ahead toward Newport, but Newport spinning around, couldn't grab it. Krnitsky attempting to send this puck through. Lost, now back to Mickley, and Mickley with possession. Mickley will shift in. Mickley looking for a shot. Sticked away by number 79. Now the Lightning on the attack. It's 43 who had it. They'll clear it over. That's Beck, but Jack Beck grabs it. Newport had possession. Now in the hands of the Lightning. Masters chasing after. That was Underhill kind of spinning around. And offsides called as McGinnis shifted over before the Lightning could enter the zone. And that stops the clock at 10:04 here in the third period. Going to switch periods now on the scoreboard as we are indeed in the last stages of the game. Gorham in on a line change. Harrison at left, Bryant at right, Denny and Lurk back on defense. Won by Gorham, cleared back toward Lurk. Lurk to Bryant, Bryant up ahead. Bryant and Harrison on the attack. 2-on-1, Bryant with a shot and score! Wrist shot, top right corner, gives the Falcons an insurance lead. That comes at 9:53. So Lurk to Bryant. Bryant with a wrist shot to the top right corner gives the second score of the game. That comes at 9:53 in the third. Still on the ice for the Falcons. We had a little bit of a delay, not sure the cause, but either way, I'm sure these teams want the break as they've had a lot of pressure. Armstrong making a save, and he's going to smother. Armstrong. LaGrand. Denny and Walking Horse back on defense. LaGrand on wing. And Lurk as well. That's Benton at center. That was called icing. Is Sophia getting ready for her game? Is Sophia getting ready for her game? Puck cleared back the opposite way. Now over to LaGrand. Lightning looking for a shot. Armstrong with the glove save. A big glove save, and he's going to get a little bit of a congratulations from his team. What a pickoff by Armstrong as he snuck his hand right up in the air and snagged the puck as that was headed for the top shelf. And a good shot, a nice quick wrist shot by the Lightning. Another shot, blocker save this time by Armstrong. They'll work to clear this puck over. Now, Connolly looking for a shot. That's going to be deflected. Picked up by Masterson. Now in the hands of Beck. Beck trying to clear it up ahead. LaGrand chasing after. This puck will head toward the ice. And Sievert stopping LaGrand from picking up the rebound. 8:42 here in the third period. Newport at left, Masters at right, Mickley at center. Back to Kornitsky, who sends off a shot, but Kicked away by Underhill. Deflected by Connolly. Now in the hands of Mickley. Mickley goes down. No penalty called. Looked like tripping initially, but not judged so by the referee. It's a 4-on-2. It looked like Denny was stopping something. Armstrong getting kicked in the head by number 10 Colner. Armstrong not happy with that, as Armstrong was diving down to smother that puck and had the initial stop saved. 8:13 here in the third period. Picked up by Colner, poked down to the corner. Penalties working to clear it, but 3 Falcons jerseys on 2 Lightning. Puck frozen down in the corner. Neither team with clear possession. Now it's Colner. Colner looking for a shot. Colner's going to go down, and that was just over Armstrong, just over the net. That was a steep angle. A nice shot by Colner. Finally cleared by the Falcons. Miller over to number 64. 64 carries it in. He's going to look for a shot. Deflected. Angelina, number 64, had an opportunity. Now Miller. Stick lift by Masters. Mickley trying to kick it out. Newport finally sends it loose to the neutral zone. In the hands of Underhill. Newport over. Gets his stick on it. Underhill dancing through traffic. Poked away by Krnitsky. And Falcons trying to grab possession again. Masters kind of dumps into Angelina. Now it's Mickley. Mickley dancing through. Mickley goes down. Sievert clears it ahead with his stick. Loose puck. Now Harrison. Harrison back behind the net. That gets wrapped around. And Krnitsky up to squeeze. Loose puck is, I believe, Masters is actually, it's Mickley off the ice. Thought he was initially injured, but he appears to be okay. Denny backhand pass up ahead to Krnitsky. Krnitsky carries it into their own attacking zone. Kept in by Gorham. No, that's called offsides. 6:33 here in the third period. And both teams will face off near the Lightning bench. Gorham at center, Harrison at left, Bryant at right. Lurk and Beck back on defense. Lurk will chase this one, as will Beck from the Lightning. Lurk up ahead to Gorham. Gorham shifting to the center of the ice. Gorham now pressured and forced outward. Lost it, and that went just past Harrison. Now it's the Lightning on the attack, but a good back-checking effort by the Falcons. Picked up by 79, pass up ahead to Hejna. Now it's down deep, and Beck collects it behind the net. Beck sends it toward Bryant. We've seen this one unfold before. Now 3-on-2. Harrison shifting over. Harrison loses it. Picked up by Gorham. Gorham with a sliding shot just past the right post. And a good effort by Bryant to get a pass over. Squeezed just past Gorham toward Harrison, but picked up by the Lightning. Now it's Arnold centered over toward Hejna, but deflected down into the opposite side. And dangerous as Gorham lost it off of the pressuring effort by number 2 Arnold. Lurk now on the attack. Lurk pass over toward Bryant, couldn't grab it. Now it's over to Arnold. Arnold entering, but grabbed by Beck. Beck spins around. Beck trying to clear. Beck up ahead to Bryant. Bryant will face 2 Lightning players. Bryant shifting over. Bryant will have to adjust. Sticked away by number 79 Connolly. Kept in by Lurk at the point. Lurk with a sliding shot. Kicked away by number 41 Connolly. Now McGinnis back on the attack. Lightning have been all over it today. .46, Embeden trying to skate past, now in the hands of Denny. Falcons working to clear this through, picked up by Womack in the neutral zone. Underhill clears it ahead to Embeden. He'll pick it off the boards, sends it down past the net. Masterson over to Benton. Benton, pressure by Wilson. Lost momentarily by those two players, but it's Walkenhorst now. Walkenhorst. And just picked up by the Lightning. Dangerous. Masters now with a long shot off the body. LaGrand looking for a rebound as he sent it toward the net. Kept in by Denny. Denny. Pass. Couldn't get it toward the net. Picked up by McGinnis. McGinnis shifting ahead. He's going to look for a shot. That's wide. Stops behind the net. Picked up by the Falcons. Armstrong with a big save as he got his stick on it. Not sure how that got stopped. And another save by Armstrong down low. Now Wilson looking for a shot. That's off the body of Womack. Sent down. Now Denny up ahead to Benton. Benton will skate. He's going to look for something in the neutral zone. He'll clear it up ahead, but that's going to go untouched. That will leave the referees to call icing and stop the clock at 3:16 in the third period. Let's go Armstrong! Let's go Falcons! Mickley back to Newport. Newport behind the net. He's assessing his options, waiting for a pass, but that's going to spin its way down past the red line as it goes untouched yet again. 3:01 left in the third. Mickley facing off against number 10, Colner. And this is Panitsky. And this could be dangerous. Armstrong with a save as he got a stick on it. Deflected behind the net. Colner looking for a wraparound shot. Now they're looking for something else, but Mickley intercepts that just past Pangelinin. As number 64 sent it in before the Lightning could stop and reset. That stops the clock at 2:38 in the third. Mickley at center, Newport at left, Masters at right, Beck and Krnitsky back on defense. And Twin Bridges kick it down low. Krnitsky with possession, number 2 putting some pressure on us. He was pursuing. Mickley trying to clear out, but a good job by the Lightning. They'll look for another shot. Stopped by Krnitsky. Krnitsky goes down. Newport trying to clear it out. Now in the hands of Beck. Beck looking to get it out of their zone. He finally gets it done. Masters up ahead to Newport. Newport finally clearing it deep on their own end. 2:05 remains. We'll see if the Lightning clear their own goalie. Time's winding down for them to get something on the board. And you got to give the Lightning a ton of credibility here. Is they've just been pouring on every bit of pressure that they can throughout the game. They've had good opportunities, no doubt about it. Beck back into the neutral zone toward Bryant. Picked up by Harrison. Sticked back by Gorham. Now the Lightning back on the attack. It's Harrison now. Harrison and Gorham trying to go forward. Harrison threw into the point, but it's Colner now who has it. Harrison is still on the blue line. Now Gorham over to Bryant. Bryant back to Gorham, but that was just loose and picked up by number 64, Angelinin. Now Harrison back the opposite way. Now Underhill with possession. Underhill trying to dance past Bryant, but Bryant deflects down to the corner. Good job by the Lightning as they had possession. Now Gorham looking for a shot and a save by Sievert. A nice save by Sievert down low. Stops the clock at 50 seconds. Falcons with the initial possession, but picked up by the Lightning. 3-on-2 now as Walkenhorst comes back to support. He's going to do a little bit of a stick lift. Picked up now by the Falcons. Lightning fighting to keep possession. Over to LaGrand. And both teams unhappy with what just happened over by the Falcons bench as LaGrand and another Lightning player both went down, and we'll see who heads into the penalty box. It's McGinnis, number 43, with 17 seconds remaining. Oh, that's fine. I just want, no. And just it's okay. And the Finns not happy with that one, as it's now 17 seconds remaining, and Lightning still have 5 players on the ice, so it looks like LaGrand is actually headed to the box as well. So both teams have been getting chippy. It's Lightning who are going to shift in. They're going to look for one last shot. 5 seconds remains. It is even strength, as that was a coincidental penalty, and both teams will try to smother the puck, and the Lightning now pushing, and both teams sort of fighting. It's Newport fighting against a couple of players. So Newport and Kolner, that was Masters who shoved number 44 Hejna, and both teams getting really upset about this.
Real classy.
So we'll see what happens now, but both teams pretty upset about what just happened. Newport grabbing his stick. That was a shutout for Parker Armstrong. Time expired. That is the end of the game. And the referees may have nothing left to do as the game's over. We'll just need to get both teams cleared safely over to their own locker rooms. But we'll see what happens. As that was not good what happened. A couple of people from both teams getting involved in a little bit of a skirmish, and the coaches will bring each other back out to congratulate each other. It was a good effort by both teams, no doubt about it. They both fought hard the entire game. Both teams having good opportunities with their own shots. Armstrong will lead the effort and pound everybody's fist as they'll end this on a classy note. I see a couple of these players are ready to make it to 14U, or they can get a little bit chippier. That's the end of the game. Thank you for checking in. We will see you next time.